Okay. Right. Good evening. I think the technical problems are over. Thank you everyone for joining. Tonight's Meaningful Monday is about expressing your creativity. Before I carry on, I just want to let you all know that it is recorded. A couple of people have requested that they get a YouTube recording of it, and that's why I do record them and I put them all onto YouTube. So if you have any problem with that, you can just put your cameras off and you can mute yourselves. If you don't have a problem, I'd love to see your faces and engage with you. So stay tuned. I have muted most of your microphones, so there's no noise. However, you're welcome to unmute your microphone at any time and just butt in and talk. Feel free. I don't have any problem with being interrupted whatsoever. In fact, it would be a pleasure. So for anyone who's new to Meaningful Mondays, really the purpose of these is to kind of raise people's awareness that we do create our own reality. Many people do think that life happens to them. It's really important that with the awareness that we are always creating our present and our futures with every second of the day, with our thoughts and with our emotions, it helps us become more conscious and directive creators, where we can become far more mindful in what we're doing. And hopefully Meaningful Mondays is about that. It's just really about continuously raising awareness. Sometimes what I'm saying might even be repetitive, but that's how we learn. We learn through spaced repetition over time. And the topic's different every first Monday of the month, but a lot of the themes that underlie the fact that how we do create our own reality may remain the same, which is probably a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to start off just talking about expressing your creativity. Tonight's lesson is really about work. Of course, we can express our creativity in many avenues besides work, but tonight I'm actually specifically talking about work because this is such a big and important deal of our lives. If you think about how much time you spend at work, if you work 5 days a week, you are spending actually more time potentially with work than you do with your own family or your own loved ones. So if it's such a big part of our lives and we generally spend 8 or more hours there a day, it's even more time than we spend sleeping most nights, and it takes up a big chunk of our lives. And life goes by very quickly. And one thing that's a big fear of mine, and I wonder, and I'm not sure if it's a fear of yours, but it's to die with regret. And the reason I want to have this lesson tonight is that the worst thing is to die with regret. And we do often start regretting in our old age things that we never attempted to do when we were young and energetic enough to actually do them. So I hope that this lesson tonight makes you think about your own life, whether you're doing what you absolutely love, or maybe you're not. So maybe you're unhappy or frustrated in whatever you're doing regarding work. If you're anywhere in between, that's also fine. It doesn't matter where on the spectrum you are, because no matter where we are, we can always up our expression of our creativity. And when I say our expression, work is a divine expression. Work is yourself expressed, because the way you do your work is unique to you. It doesn't matter what job you're in, whether you're doing something you love or you don't love, something that you think is you or that's not, you don't think is you, doesn't matter. How you express and do your work is an expression of you, and that's unique to you. Because if you were replaced tomorrow with somebody else, guaranteed that work would not be done the same way as the way you do it. So expressing your creativity is really, really important, because our fulfillment and the meaning that our lives have has a large part to play with how we do our work, what work we do, who we do it for, and the feelings that we have going into that every day, and the feelings that we have executing our work every day, and the feelings we have and how we affect others through the work we do. What impact do we have on others? Is it a positive one? Is it a negative one? Is it none at all? So this is really what I want to talk about tonight. So Louise Hay says, when our inner vision opens, our horizons expand. So this is beautiful. our inner vision, what we do, what we have, and what we accomplish, what level of success or what level of failure, all comes down to our own inner vision of ourselves. So in other words, our self-worth, the way we see ourselves. And I'm not even going to talk about the way we see the world or we see others. It's just really starting first and foremost, our relationship within us, inside of us, about us. And the whole world is a reflection of that. And the previous lessons I've done in Meaningful Monday are recorded, they're on YouTube, and I've spoken a lot about this. And in particular, a lesson about how to love yourself, which is 2 Meaningful Mondays ago. And the reason I keep raising that one is because every single thing in your life, at the end of the day, comes down to your self-worth. Everything. I don't care what subject you bring up about your experience, if it's good or bad. If you distill it down, why, the last thing you'll end up with is self-worth. So self-worth, if you want better results and you want to up your game, up your income, up your relationships, up your happiness, up finding your soulmate, up anything, it comes down to your self-worth. And we can change our self-worth. So 2 lessons ago was about learning to love yourself. And I encourage anyone who hasn't listened to that to please do listen to that. And when you read this quote, it comes down to this as well. When our inner vision for what we deserve, our inner vision for what we think life should hand out to us, when our inner vision opens about what we could be, what we could do, then opportunities and horizons expand. Then even your perception of life, what you see every day, how you notice things, how you notice a billboard, how you notice a conversation or something that someone said, or going through a magazine or finding an advertisement about something, could be a course, it could be something that could potentially change your life. Those horizons expand when inside of us, our own inner vision and how we see ourselves changes. And this is why I keep referring to learning to love yourself, the previous Meaningful Monday lesson. So I mentioned this to start off with, because expressing our creativity, happiness, fulfillment, success in our work begins and ends with our self-worth as well. It begins and ends with the vision that we have for ourselves and what we think that we deserve. And as I say, this can be changed. You can always work on your self-worth and your self-confidence. It absolutely can be changed. So when we talk about work, finding your life's purpose, finding work that you love to do is loving who you are. So if you ask yourself the question, do I think that I have found my life purpose and I'm living it? Maybe you want to raise your hand, or you want to raise your hand to yourself in your mind, but that's a question that most people say no to when I ask audiences that question. If there's 10 people in a room, guaranteed only 1 or 2 will say they found their life purpose. And I was one of these people myself. And this is why I keep talking about life purpose. It's a subject that's very, very close to my heart, because I only found out what I really believe my life purpose is when I was 42 years of age. I know I only look 26, but I am actually older than 42, a couple of years now. So when I never knew what my life purpose was, I loved my jobs. I did very well in them. I really did. And I had good skills, and I loved learning new things, and I changed industries more than once, twice, 3 times. I learned new things. But even though I loved what I did and I did well, I used to always have a feeling that there's got to be more to life than this. And I didn't like that feeling, because there was always a little bit of an empty space. I don't want to say in my heart. Maybe it was my heart. Maybe it was my soul. I think it was my soul. And I say soul because we don't really know our soul very well. We know about ourselves and as humans, who we are, our brains and our conversations with people. But where do we really identify much with our soul? Well, I'll tell you where you identify with your soul. You identify with your soul when intuitively you can sense that there's got to be more for you in life than what you got right now. When you can intuitively sense that this that you're in is not the end of the road for you. This is not going to fulfill not only your dreams, but fulfill that container, if you wish, for lack of a better example, of your ability to express fully who you are, your ability to express fully your talents and gifts. So, for example, when I was working in corporate, I was in corporate my whole life for 20 years. Even though I was in that job and I was doing that particular role well, if I was doing it well, and I had good skills and I was achieving and fulfilling my role, I knew that Jeanine had something more to offer, and I couldn't express it in that job. I don't know if anyone gets what I'm saying, just not if you do. There's something about being in that role, even though you do it well, but it says, this is not expressing Jeanine. So whoever your name is, just put your own name in there. This doesn't fully express who I am. I've got a lot more inside me that's bursting to come forth. What is that and where is that? This is what the lesson tonight is for you, is to think about that, because I can promise you there is something that you can do that nobody else can do like you, that's waiting for you to step in and do that thing. And when you do, you literally, I know this sounds extreme, but you literally change the world. When I mean change the world, you change your own world first, because you're more fulfilled and your life is more meaningful. And you are better for everyone around you, the people that you're interacting with to fulfill and express this part of your work. But you're also better around your people in your home, your partners, your family, even your friends, because you are suddenly feeling a bit more self-worth. You suddenly feel like you have an important role in this world, that you're doing something that's really all you, and you're expressing it all the time. And every time you express it, you open yourself up to expand more. Blandine's on this call tonight, and she said something. We had a little catch up here on Saturday with people who attended the event Out of This World. And Blandine, if you don't mind me using your example, she said something so beautiful. Maybe you want to help me get the words right, Blandine. She said something about when you share, I don't know what you said exactly, but when you share your knowledge or when you share your expertise, you kind of let it go, and so you make space for more to come. Do you want to just tell us what you said? I'm going to unmute you.
Yeah. When you impart knowledge, you leave room for more. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't have a pen here. I would write it out. When you impart knowledge, you leave room for more. So that's exactly it. When you're doing something that's really you, it's really unique to you, that's what you keep doing. You keep on imparting something that's really a true expression from a soul point of view of what you're designed to do. Because every one of us came into this world for a very specific purpose. There's no mistaking that you're here. Some people think, oh, I'm just another human being that's born amongst these other 7 billion. No, my friends, no. You are here for a very specific purpose. And if the only thing that you do in your life while you're here is search to find that purpose and fulfill it fully, then you've accomplished your reason for being here. It's not about money and how much we can accumulate and how many things we can have. And no, it's about finding the thing that you uniquely can do, putting your whole heart into that and serving others with that. Because life purpose always relates to others. Life purpose is never about our own success and how much we have achieved only and how much we have accumulated and how much money is in the bank and how many whatevers we have. It's about how we have impacted other people along our life journey with something that we do and that we do uniquely very well, just us. So our work is a divine expression. Your work serves as your expression of creativity. Absolutely, and we know this. And we know that when we're in a role in the work that we do it our own way. Like whatever I do it the Jeanine way. If I left that role and someone else did it, they did it their way. So it's an expression of your own creativity. If you dislike your work, this is really important. You'll create much of the same unless you change inside. So this is for anyone who's perhaps in a role, doing some form of work, that you're not very happy in, or that you don't like very much, or that you don't think is the best expression of yourself. Well, I'm here to tell you, you first need to do the inner work first. And I'm talking about this loving yourself thing. That's why I keep going back to that previous Meaningful Monday about how to love yourself. If you don't change on the inside, you're going to go with this unfulfilled emptiness into another role. And it's just a matter of time. Once you get used to it, you're going to have the same feelings. And you can go to another one and you'll have the same feeling, and another one. And it's going to go on and on and on like that. So we do need to do the work on the inside first. And whatever changes on the inside will change for us on the outside. So life is really a reflection of our relationship with ourselves. Now, the problem is people often declare what they want in negative terms. If they talk about their work, if they're not happy, they will tell you what they don't like. You know, I don't like that part of my job when this happens or whatever. Or I don't like the negative vibe at the office and these people or whatever. So we're speaking in negative terms. Well, a negative thought will never, ever, ever, ever give you a positive outcome. I know that might not be new for anyone. It might be pretty obvious. But sometimes we forget and we do complain. And when we are complaining, we are only creating more of the same. Because as long as you're complaining, you are giving momentum to that negative energy. And how we create our futures is by our thoughts and our feelings. This is a quantum world. Energy is everything. Everything is connected. And every vibration that you have, which is your emotions, your mood, whether it's happy or unhappy, is an attractive energy. So every time we complain or say what part we don't like, we're actually creating more of that. And just to say, if we continue to say, I hate this job, you'll absolutely get nowhere. It'll never get better for you. And I speak from my own example here. And if I may, some of you may have heard the story before, so forgive me for repeating it, but it's really relevant for people who haven't heard it before. When I was in a corporate role, my last role, I worked for a research company for 5 years. And the first year and a half was the worst year and a half of my entire life. And I'm not exaggerating. It was the worst I've ever experienced. I was the most unhappy. I was the most unhealthy. I was the most sick. I had the lowest self-confidence. I was the most anxious. I was the most doubtful of myself. It was a really awful downward spiral that I was going on. And at that stage, I used to continuously say, I hate my job. Now, the thing with me was I, as a personality, crazy you may say I am, I refused to leave that job until I made some success of some kind, until I scored some goals, because I thought I'm not going to put on my CV that I left this job because I couldn't cope or because I didn't do well or whatever it was. So I stuck it out, stubborn as I am, and found out, just said to myself, you have to persist. You have to stay in this job until you make a success of it. But this whole time that I was doing this, I was really hating the job. I really just hated it. I was just only staying there to turn things around, score some goals so that I could leave. And one day it dawned on me. I keep saying I hate my job. And I knew a lot about we create our own reality. I knew a lot about everything that you affirm becomes your reality. And I realized me saying I hate my job was holding me in this pattern of I hate my job. I was like an airplane. Goes in like a holding pattern before it comes into land, just going round and round and round, getting nowhere. I realized just saying I hate my job was creating this. And the minute that epiphany came, I said, if there's only one thing I'm going to do is to change my belief that I love my job. And even though I didn't love my job, I just started to have it as a mantra. I absolutely love my job. I absolutely love my job. Every single day on the tram in Melbourne on the way to the office, every single day, whether I was driving or standing in a queue or lying in bed or taking a shower, brushing my teeth, doesn't matter what it was, I'd say, I absolutely love my job. And I used to just close my eyes when I had a few minutes and visualize myself in the job that I did love, which was in South Africa, and just get into the emotion of that and just have those feelings start to just rise in me, because it's the feelings that are the creative power in manifesting what you want. So it doesn't matter if it's imagination. It doesn't matter if it's real or imagined. Just get into the feeling state of the thing that you want and you attract that. And it took about, I would say, 3 to 4 months of visualizing and having this mantra and using something called the Silva method, which is a training program that I trained today, which I came across, thank God, while I was in this bad place. And I changed this belief of I hate my job to I absolutely love my job. And I'm telling you, the minute that belief changed, everything worked out for me, and I absolutely did love my job. Everything started to fall into place. I was starting to score goals. I was getting awards. I got promoted. I got an increase. Everything started to work out. And it's purely a manifestation of the belief that I changed. So I'm sharing this because if anyone's not happy in what they're doing, you'll get nowhere by repeating that to yourself, let alone to others. That's even more of a concrete vibration when we say it in words, but just the thought. If you're unhappy, I cannot tell you how important it is to first change that on the inside before you go looking on the outside, because there's something there that you stuck with. And even though you think you leave a job you don't like and you go into a job that you will like, yes, of course it can be greener on the other side, but there's some residue that will go with you. I don't care what it is. You could go from an accounting job to, I don't know, selling toys. Totally different. Some residue is going to move with you from the one that you hate to the next one. Something. You have to change yourself on the inside. And I can't tell you all the answers. A whole lot more than just this webinar that we're on. But visualizing and having affirmations and making a conscious effort to get into a feeling place where you love what you do is an absolute necessity. It's essential. Someone want to say something? No? Okay, I just heard someone speak. So that is the most important point we need to change before we move on if we don't like where we are. So we are creating more of the same with everything that we think and everything that we feel. So what's really a good exercise is to really get to know for yourself and make a list for yourself what I believe about my work. You maybe want to write that down. Get it in your own time. Get a piece of paper, maybe do that tonight or do that tomorrow, and just write what I believe about my work and write all your beliefs. Get them out on paper. What do you believe about your work? Do you believe it's your creative outlet? Do you believe it's the right job for you? Do you believe that you are fulfilling your potential in this role? Do you think that you're learning and growing? Do you think it's allowing you to grow as a person? Do you think it challenges you to become better? Whatever. What beliefs do you have about your work? And then I want you to also take another heading for yourself and write, what are your beliefs about success and failure? What do you think success is? What do you think it looks like if you honestly said, I'm at the peak of my successful career? What does that look like? What is your belief about success? And if you said failure looks like this, what does it look like? Describe it, whether it's other people's, but most importantly, your own. This is very, what's the word? It's very revealing once you do this, to understand yourself better and to also move forward, upward, get better and better. And where you find negative beliefs in any of this about your work, whatever negative beliefs come out, so write that first. Don't judge yourself while you're writing them. Just get everything out. Once you've got that, I want you to look at that and just please understand that we often say these things are facts. When I was working in that job and I didn't like my job, I could have said to you, it's a fact. I don't like it because of this. This is a true fact. It's happening. This is a reality. And I'll give you a whole lot of points there. My friends, not very much in life are facts. Perception is your reality, because there were people doing exactly the same kind of work in my team. They were happy. They were successful. But more importantly, when I changed my belief, I was happy. I was successful. My boss never changed. The team never changed. My clients never changed. My work content never changed. I changed. So when you see a belief that you have about your work that you just really, hey, Stevie, just waving at you there. I just saw you for a second. If you can change those negative beliefs, because you can change them, they are just beliefs. Of course, they're not easy to change, because a belief is an attitude that you've repeated for a long time. And that attitude is a thought with emotion that you've repeated for a very, very long time. The thoughts, feelings become an attitude, repeated attitude become a belief. They're very ingrained in the subconscious mind. And we perceive the world through this lens of belief, and we think, oh, this is my reality. My friends, it's not reality, it's just your perception. So even if it's disastrous in your mind, and this will never make me happy, I'm still telling you, it's just your belief. And if you really make a conscious effort to change that, and the way you start to change that is, I don't care what it is, but just find a list, even if it's this short, just do your best. What you do like about where you work right now. It could just be the fact that it helps to bring money in, which puts food on the table. If it's just that, then make a longer list of what money buys for you that comes from that job. It can be food on the table, it could be contributing to paying the bills, it could be petrol for your car, whatever it may be, roof over your head, place to sleep at night, doesn't matter what, or just that it's in a easy to find location, or that there's public transport, doesn't matter what it is. If there's one person you like there, write that down and try to keep your focus on the positive aspects and do your very best to eliminate the negative ones, but try to change your belief before you ever look for something different and change. Then start declaring what you do want your work to be. If you want more out of your role, whether you're happy or unhappy, start declaring what you do want it to be. Don't talk or think or affirm what it is that you don't want. Always do it in the present tense, because the subconscious mind hears everything. And the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. Whatever you say, your conscious mind might think that's nonsense and I don't want to believe that and I don't love this job, I really don't. Doesn't matter. If you affirm, I absolutely love this job, your subconscious mind is listening, and with repetition and emotion, you will ingrain that and create a belief. So when you do it in the present tense, you are being more creative, because if it's in the future tense, you are creating a future state. So it will always be in the future. You'll never manifest it. You've always say affirmations in the present tense. When you have a vision statement or a goal statement, please always write them in the present tense. And the best way to start them, I always say this, it comes from The Secret, the movie or the book. I am so happy and grateful now that, and finish the sentence. So whatever you want in your work, start like that. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and finish the sentence with whatever you want. And also it's essential that you're very clear. Just for those people who may not know, in the Silva method, I just want to interject here, it's a course that I run. It's a course about developing more of your mind through dynamic meditation. We have an exercise in there on life purpose. So what I spoke about earlier, if that's an enigma for you, that's how I came to find my life purpose after 42. It was through the Silva method. I did the home study program. It changed my life so significantly. This is why I teach the program today. The other thing is, this is what I'm talking about. What do you want to create? What do you want your work to be? And make sure that it's clear. We have an exercise in the Silva method called the mirror of the mind. In this meditation, from a deep subconscious level, we are able to create a clear picture. And I'm talking about clarity. Clarity is the focus word here. A clear picture of what we want first. That's what we do first. There's a whole lot of questions in there. What do you want? Why do you want this? Where will you be? What time? Whatever. We don't manifest. That becomes very clear. And then we program that in through visualization and mental rehearsal. And you can do that for yourself, whether you've done the Silva method or not. Create a crystal clear picture of what you want your job to be, and try and keep it in general terms. Because the more specific you are, the more you are attached to the outcome. It's got to be this job in that suburb, with this company, with that role, with that boss. That's being very attached to the outcome. You're not allowing source energy that's omnipotent and all-powerful to potentially give you something better than what you want, but just being more general. You want to be happy and you want to be fulfilled, something along those lines. So always keep it in general terms. Don't keep it too specific. Here's an example of a work declaration. You're welcome to write this down, or this is recorded. You can look at it afterwards, but write it down if you want. This is just to give an idea of writing it in general terms. If you want your work to be better or more than it is today, My work is deeply meaningful and fulfilling and pays me abundantly. So I'm not being specific as to what my work is, because once you start saying this, you could create a sideline job. You could create another sideline business. You could potentially buy another business on the side. You could be a partner, a silent partner in another business. There's so many opportunities. Life is not singular. It is not just linear. So that already opens up opportunities for you. And to say, I add value to people and make a significant difference in their lives, that's living a life of purpose. That's adding value. That's wonderful. And then lastly, I work with people I love and who love me. Everybody wants that. Who doesn't want to go to work with people that they love and where you feel loved? That's the most wonderful environment to be in. And then, of course, I feel safe and happy at all times. The reason I added that in is because in my own experience, there were many times in my corporate role, I didn't feel safe. They were retrenching people all around me every other couple of months. And you never know when it's going to happen to you. And that feeling of insecurity going to work like that is not nice. And it makes you feel unvalued. And that affects your own self-worth. And your own self-worth affects your own manifestations, your own creative power. So everything is a reflection of what you believe you deserve. So make sure you write something in a positive statement and tell yourself that you deserve to be happy, that you deserve to have wonderful people around you. Always write it in terms that serve you and bring you back to yourself deserving a lot, because you do. You are worth it. And tell yourself that you're worth it. And this comes back again, as I say, to loving yourself. And I just wrote a point here. When we have strong beliefs that we don't deserve, then we have problems doing what we want. We have problems creating what we want. So making sure that you do tell yourself that you deserve whatever it is really very important. Okay, when it comes to belief about work, I just want to put this out there. Your income from many sources. Your income can be from many sources, absolutely. Never think that your income can come from one source. I'm going to give you the most ridiculous example. It may be ridiculous, it may not, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sometimes, over the last couple of years, if I had some money, I decided I don't even know about the share market. I'm not claiming to be a stock broker or stock market expert of any kind, but there are a couple of brands out there. I trust those companies are going to do better and better over time. So I've bought a few shares, not a lot of money, a couple of $100 here, $100 there. And over time, now it's become a few $1,000s, and I get these little dividend checks. I know this is so small. Today I got one back from the cochlear implant people. Who knows why I decided to invest with them? I don't know. It was just a feeling I got. The check was only for $21. It's not a lot of money. It's not the point. The point is it's another source of income. And if I started doing that when I was 20, that might have been a $2,000 check. And, you know, for you anyway, there's never too late to start. Never think of a single source of income. In investment property, I also sell investment property. I'm passionate about property. Pearlie's on the call. She also does investment property. That's another source of income. You get income from your investment properties as rent. There's many other options. You just got to be creative and start to think. Years ago, I remember doing some kind of book or course of Bob Proctor, and he said, make a list today, no matter what you're doing, and call it my 15 sources of income. And he said, you will think about that every day. I don't care what you come up with, and think and keep thinking of how you can add 15 sources of income. Doesn't matter if you sell makeup on the side or you do multi-level marketing something, but think about other sources of income. And the more you think about it, the more your awareness is going to change and the more opportunities are going to come your way. When it comes to relationships on the job, my friends, I couldn't tell you how important this is. Relationships at work are like family. Really, they could either be dysfunctional or they can be very healthy. They are so important in our lives. They can be toxic or they can be so healthy. They can lift you up, change your life, bring you happiness, make your heart sing. Make sure that you are focused on having wonderful relationships on the job. We spend so much time at work. Relationships are exceptionally important. If you run your own business, make sure that you hire the right fit. Culture is everything. Culture fit is more important than skills. Trust me, you can have the best skilled person on earth. If there's no culture fit, you'll be as unhappy as can be. So they're very, very important, and they do affect us massively. So be a deliberate creator of your own environment at work. And if you are in an environment that you're not very happy with, then you try to be the change to make that a better environment. You try to be the one that brings more patience, more kindness, more happiness, more love into the environment, and see if you can be the one to positively affect others. Okay, I love this. It says, as we climb up the ladder of career and success, we tend to get attached to the perks that come from our skills. So we get attached to things like money, security, respect from people, because now we've got some status or whatever, and we get attached to a clear path of advancement. We know where we're going. Slowly but surely, we start to become afraid of moving out of our comfort zone into something that makes our hearts sing. And very sadly, we settle. Never be that person. Never, ever settle. Make sure that what you're doing, you honestly believe is your life purpose. And if you don't know what your life purpose is, make that your number one goal to get out there and find. There are meditations you can do that will help your subconscious mind start to find this for you. But really, your life purpose is a combination of your passion, what you really love, and your skills, your talents, what you're really good at. When those two intersect, therein lies your God-given purpose. I'm just letting you know that. So think about what you love to do. Think about your passions. In your passion lies your God-given purpose, they say. So never ever settle because of things like money, security, respect, a promotion, if you don't think it's right for you. And I know we get scared about security and money. And this took me a long time to understand, but Helen Keller used to say, security is an illusion. It doesn't exist in nature. Security is an illusion. It doesn't exist in nature. I didn't believe that. I thought, no, my money from my payroll, from my paid job is security. Eventually, I used to think about this quote, and I used to really, really think about it. And all I was working on was overcoming my fear of leaving corporate. And when I did, I realized it is an illusion. We create our lives, and we create our opportunities, and we create everything. And the universe will always support you, especially if you believe that. If you believe you've always been looked after and always will be, that will be your reality. Whatever you believe becomes your reality. Now, when you dare to make that leap from your comfort zone, or what we call the comfortable zone of excellence, where you're really good, but you're comfortable in your comfort zone, even though you're doing really well and you have excellent skills there. When you dare to make that leap into the unknown realm of genius, the universe conspires to help you. And I say the unknown realm of genius because when we take the leap into that we truly love and that we're really good at, you then step into something called your zone of genius. And this is one of the big points I want to make about tonight's lesson is that there's something called your zone of genius. You have it. Everybody has it. We all have something called our zone of genius. It's where we are operating in our sweet spot. It's where we are taking our passion, this that we absolutely love, that if we're doing it, time just flies by and we don't even know it's gone. And we intersect that with some skills and talents that you know you're good at. There's something that you know you're good at. It could be the weirdest thing. It could have nothing to do with your job right now. Doesn't matter. There's something that you know that you're good at. Think about that. When we take that, plus the passion, and then mix that with who can I serve? How can I add value to others? How does it affect others? When you intersect those, you land up in your sweet spot, which I call your zone of genius. And this quote here is talking about getting out of your comfort zone where it's all about this money is paying the bills. My friends, life is too short to settle for money paying the bills. Because life is not waiting for you to pay the bills. Life is waiting for you to be alive, for you to be happy, and for you to positively influence everybody that you come across in your life. So be there for people, the best of you. Be there for your family, the best of you. Be there for your friends or your spouse or your children, the best of you. And you're the best of you when you are happy, when you are doing things that using your skills and you know that you're good at, because we love that, and we're serving and adding value to others. That's when you're in your zone of genius, and then you are thriving. And then you know what? You are so friggin' enthusiastic and inspired every day that people actually dig to hang around you. You actually attract people to hang around you because you are walking on a cloud. You are walking with a skip in your step every day. This is what your life is meant to be. Not settling for a job that pays the bills. Get that out of your head. I'm here to really push this point because I come from there. I had the perks, a wonderful paycheck, whatever it was, but there was this feeling that I'm not expressing all of Jeanine. There was more that I knew that I could do. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. But all I knew was, this is not all of me. And your soul knows this at a deep soul level. Your conscious mind is, sorry, to be honest, is too limiting or limited to work that out for you. So to find your life purpose, you need to generally do it in a deep state of meditation and ask the question, or pray. If prayer's what you do, ask for guidance to find your life purpose through a state like that, where the conscious mind is more quiet. And by the way, at the end of this lesson tonight, we will do a guided meditation. If something comes up for you, I hope it does. It may not. But the fact that you go into meditation and ask the question, it's like planting a seed that will germinate. So if I speak for myself, I did the Silva Method home study program for several years before I did the live training a few times, and I became a trainer. And in the Silva Method home study program, there's a life purpose meditation. And I sat there, and you've got to use a pen and paper, and it asks you the questions, like to source energy. What is your vision for my purpose in life? And nothing. And I did it once, and I was so frustrated. Nothing came up on the paper for me. I thought, what is wrong with me? And I thought, maybe it's just a bad day. I did that same meditation another day. Nothing came up for me. Do you know, I was so frustrated. I did this about 4 times, maybe 5. And I thought, there's got to be something wrong with me. I'm sure other people do this meditation and find their life purpose. What's wrong with me? Or am I so stiff and have so much angst about it that I'm blocking? I don't know what it was. It's got nothing to do with it. I got it all wrong. You just got to do the exercise. The seed is planted in your subconscious mind. It will find its way to the answer for you. You've got to just be patient. So that's something I believe I could improve on, is maybe patience. I'm quite an impatient person often. So when we do a question like that and you ask, guide me to my life purpose, what is my life purpose? You've got to understand there's a universal law called the law of gestation. The law of gestation, it's like an incubation period. Every single thing has got a time to germinate, to incubate, and then to produce fruit. So I did find my life purpose from doing that Silva Method exercise, but not that very day. And nothing came up for me that very day. But you know what did happen? My intuition from nowhere just gave me the hunch, this goosepimply feeling. I think I talk about it now, I get goosepimples. Go and join the John Maxwell team. Go and join the John Maxwell team. The John Maxwell team, for those of you who don't know who John Maxwell is the world's #1 leadership author and speaker. And I've been reading his books since 1990s. And he's got this global team, and you can join and get trained by him and certified by him to be a coach or a speaker or trainer. And this was just a hunch for me. I had no idea. I mean, I was in market research. I was dealing with retailers. What on earth would I be doing with a leadership author and speaker? But the hunch was so strong. And I learned to trust my intuition, which also came from the Silva Method, because that's what we do in the Silva Method. We train intuition. It led me to take that step. And when I joined the John Maxwell team, all of a sudden, overnight, boom, the first time I ever shared what I'd learned, I had such a high, such passion. And I realized I absolutely love talking about this stuff, teaching others, training others, adding value. And this is slowly how I came to find what I really love to do. And I'm here now. So I'm telling you, don't lose faith or don't lose hope. If there's something out there for you that's more, trust that you will find it. Make that your #1 goal in life. And be aware of your intuition and be aware of hunches, because your hunches and your intuition will always guide you right. So when you're doing what you love and you're doing it with the skills and you're serving others, where those 3 things intersect, you are in your zone of genius. So that's what your zone of genius is. So it says here, make the shift into living more and more of your life from your zone of genius. This doesn't always happen overnight, but when you learn about the key fears and issues that hold most people back, as well as how to address them in an effective way, you are well on your way to a very new and exciting path. So this is what I really want for everyone, is to live more and more fully and live a life from what we call our zone of genius, because then you are the best version of yourself. And oh my goodness, can I tell you, when you are operating in your zone of genius, you're a blessing to everybody, everyone, whether they work people, home people, kids, family, relatives, everyone, strangers at the grocery store, your dentist, whoever, because you are happy and fulfilled every day and it exudes from you. So how to express your creativity and operate in your zone of genius? Find and follow your passion. That's the first thing. Work in your strength zone. Know what you're good at. Think about what you're good at, what talents and gifts, and that could be totally unrelated to what you're doing today. Develop more of your mind. Your mind is the beginning and end of your entire existence on this planet. Happy existence, the mind. Unhappy existence, the mind. Good day, the mind. Bad day, the mind. Success, the mind. Failure, the mind. Name it. It starts and ends with the mind. So if you could develop more of your mind, you could create the life that you want. I also want to add this. Jose Silva, who's the founder of the Silva method, one of the affirmations, or what we call a benefit statement or genius statement in all the Silva method meditations, because it's a dynamic meditation program, is this statement. It says, the difference between genius mentality and average mentality is that geniuses use more of their mind and use it in a special manner. And then it says in the Silva method, you are now learning to use more of your mind and to use it in a special manner. We are all born a genius. We are conditioned out of that to not trust ourselves, believe in ourselves, well, for whatever reason. I'm not going to go into that tonight. It's too long. But genius exists if you can use more of your mind. And when I say more, I'm talking about specifically your imagination and your intuition. Those are called the faculties of genius. Then you can operate more in your zone of genius, where you become way more creative and you can start expressing your creativity, which is tonight's lesson, expressing more and more of your creativity. And when you tap into your zone of genius, that's when you start to live your best life, a life of absolute happiness and bliss on another level. And it's possible for every one of us. It's possible. Oh, there I wrote it. It's possible. Yes, it is. Okay. This is from Louise Hay. It's just an affirmation, but I loved it so much, I thought I would just put it in here. If you want to copy this down and have it as an affirmation and say it every day to yourself or meditate on it, go for it. It says, my unique and creative talents and abilities flow through me and are expressed in a deeply satisfying ways. My creativity is always in demand. I love that. What that also tells you, my creativity is always in demand, means that you can make a profitable business out of your creative expression, which is really what we should be doing. And that creative expression is expressing those talents and gifts. So as I said, everyone is born a genius, but the process of living de-geniuses them. That's just our conditioning. That's because what the world wants most and needs from you is that really is what is yours uniquely to give. You have something unique that only you can do, and only you can do it your way. And the world needs just that. And if we just learn to tap into what that thing is and we identify through what we really love, we can step into our zone of genius and live a fuller and fuller life. And that's really where the magic happens. It also says people who live from their zone of genius live longer, healthier, happier lives. Why? Because they live with more passion every day. They love getting up every day and doing what they're doing. When there's passion, there's a heartbeat. Where there's more heart, there's more strength. Where there's more strength, there's more life. There's more life, absolutely live longer and you live happier. Okay, so how to tap into your creative genius? Here are a couple of steps for you to take away. This is towards the end now. So, number 1, you have a unique something. I don't know what that something is, but I don't want you to think that it's what you've been qualified at university to do or the role that you're doing right now. I want you to think about anything that you do. You have a unique something. Do you know that it could be cooking, baking? It could be the way you help all your friends overcome their hardships. That's what it was for me. When I joined the John Maxwell team and did my first, what I call a lunch and learn, just like a little talk or seminar, workshop type thing on leadership, I got such satisfaction out of that. I loved doing that so much because I knew that there was something in there that I do quite well, because my whole life I've actually been coaching and mentoring people. I might not have been a coach or a mentor, but in every role I've ever had, whether it's at work or with my friends, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've been coaching and mentoring since I was about 6 years old. If I think about it now, I've never stopped. I've been doing it my whole life. But I never had a job that was a coach or a mentor or a trainer until I stepped out of corporate and into my passion. And that's my zone of genius. That's where I'm happiest, I'm most fulfilled, and I'm the best gift to the world in what I share. I'm doing it right now and I love it. So what is your something? Just think about, there's something that you do really well. It could be really something you've never thought about. Go back to think about what you did as a child, what you love to do, because the world needs you to share that. The next thing is absolutely learn to listen to your intuition, learn to trust your intuition. It's got to be one of the most valuable skills you can develop in your life. The Silva method, 2 days out of the 4-day program, is Silva intuition. We train and develop our intuition, how to access it more, how to develop it more, how to trust it more. Because when you start accessing and trusting your intuition, you start living what I call a guided life. And a guided life means it will guide you. Your life will be guided to doing what you absolutely are designed and born to do, and the best thing that you could do. The next thing is do what you love. I've spoken about that, your passion. Whatever it is that you love, take that step. Please just start. One word, start. S-T-A-R-T, start. Start somewhere. Maybe there's a book that you've been wanting to write. Just start, right? The first page. Maybe there's a course that you want to do. Have you ever had a course that you wanted to do? Something totally weird, I don't know. Art, music. Buy that easel. Start to paint. Whatever it may be for you. It could be something totally random. If you've ever had that feeling, start. And you know, sometimes it may not be your life purpose. It could be just something that you have a desire to do. It could be a hobby. But you have to experiment and keep trying things for you to know. Before I found that training, speaking, and coaching is my big passion, I love photography. I take a zillion photos, and I love nature, and I love taking photos of nature. And I thought it was photography, so I bought an expensive camera. I bought a book on photography, and I went ballistic with photos everywhere. And then I realized I really love photography, but this is not going to actually turn me on eternally. You know what I mean? It's not going to actually be my thing, so much so it's going to be a career. But at least I gave it a shot. Many years ago, I was into cooking. Can you believe it? I became a chef. I thought that was my thing, and it wasn't. So please do experiment, but do what you love and start and try and experiment and try things. This is really important. Believe in your ideas. If you're making notes, please write this down. An idea is the first manifestation of your desire. The idea. Like, we have a desire. Maybe your desire is, I want to grow my income. I want to increase my income. I want to get more clients. I want to have a better relationship. Whatever your goal or thing that you want is, whatever your desire is, you might be doing something random, taking a walk, listening to music, relaxing, maybe taking a nap, and you get an idea in your head, and it only comes fleetingly. That idea is the first manifestation of that you want, but you have to act on it. And I'm underlined ideas. This is so important. I want you to become aware that ideas are spiritual seeds. They don't come from nowhere. They're not a coincidence. every idea that pops in your head, sometimes we dismiss them. We think, oh, that's a good idea, and we don't act on them. That was a spiritual seed given to you. If you can act straight away, write that idea down and act on it, it will bear positive fruit for you. It will help you. So when we're trying to find our creative genius and operate in our zone of genius, you start getting ideas, and some of them are a bit weird. Take note of ideas. They are spiritual seeds. Practice gratitude. We know this. We all talk about gratitude. I just want to say this comes from Neil Donald Walsh. She says, gratitude in advance, not in hindsight or in retrospect, in advance is the most powerful creative force in the universe. So if you don't know your life purpose, or you don't have the perfect job, or you want to get more income, or you want to express more of your zone of genius, when you are giving thanks or being grateful or showing appreciation or maybe gratitude journaling, could you express it in advance to say, thank you so much that the right thing is going to just show up? Now, I'm saying it hasn't shown up. So you're saying, thank you that the right thing is just going to show up. Thank you that I know this is going to be taken care of. I'm so grateful that this is going to work out for me. That's gratitude in advance. When we are thankful before we've even received, that feeling of thankfulness, when the desire is still unfulfilled, is the most powerful creative force in the universe. It is this feeling that brings it in. So practice gratitude, and definitely practice gratitude in advance. That's why I like that statement I said earlier. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and you finish the sentence for what you want, that you don't have, what you want. And maybe write that. I used to write a couple of years ago. I had all these goals. I was wanting to immigrate, and I had to write every morning everything that I wanted. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and finish the sentences. And then when I finished writing a full-scale page, I just go and read it over and over and then start my day. If you try that, it really, really works. Be in a state of wonder and awe. I always say, if you want a wonderful life, develop a state of wonder. Develop more intentional wonder of, like, the world is amazing. Look at it as if everything's a miracle. If you want an awesome life, develop more of a sense of awe for all of life, for everything. See it everywhere. Look at the miracle in the sunrise. The fact that you woke up this morning and you breathed all night and you did nothing to do that. Who was breathing you? So everything is really a miracle, and you can see life that way, or you can see life that nothing's a miracle. The choice is really ours. Everything's our perception. But if you do develop a higher sense of wonder and awe, more of your creative expression flows. Number 7, practice humility. Humility is a quality we need in order to learn. Arrogant people don't learn anything because they think they know it all already. I can tell you, I know nothing. And the more books I read and the more I study and the more courses I do, the more I realize how little I know. And sounds a bit crazy, but that's a quality that I think serves me, because the more I learn, the more I realize, geez, there's so much I don't know, which gives me a thirst to learn more. And the more I learn, of course, the more you, as a person, you do grow. But really, humility is about a spirit of learning, having that spirit of learning. And then give credit to everything except your ego. Right now, I'm going to give credit to Nancy. She's on this webinar tonight. She came up with these points here tonight on this slide. I did the rest of the webinar, but we were talking about it in the office. And she she collected these points to make a post for me on Instagram and Facebook. And she came up with these. They come from Wayne Dyer. I just edited them slightly, but these points are really much the same. So thank you to Nancy. That's I give credit to her. So give credit where credit is due. Absolutely. I'm very thankful. Number 8, release doubt and resistance. Don't let any thought interfere with realizing your intention. Doubt is the biggest barrier to our dreams being fulfilled, because doubt is a thought. The next thing is an emotion, which is fear. And the next thing, it's expressed physiologically through the body as anxiety. And when that happens, we start being immobilized and we don't take action. All I can say is just try the cancel technique. I've got some Silva grads on the call tonight. You know what that is. For people who haven't done the Silva method, every time you have a negative thought, just go cancel, and just reframe with a positive statement like, I can't do that, or I can't afford that. Cancel, somehow, some way I can do that. I'll find a way. Just make it a positive statement. It does actually work. It sounds a bit simplistic, but this is neuroscience. They proved if you say cancel after a negative statement, it actually blocks the neural pathway and starts to create a new belief every time you make a positive statement. So don't let doubt get in the way of you getting what you want. Okay, so really, the end of the day, the point is create a life that feels good on the inside, not a life that looks good on the outside. Your life has to feel good. This is about your heart center. How does your life feel? Do you love what you do? Do you feel fulfilled every day? Are you content? Are you adding value to others? Does your heart sing? Does this give you a skip in your step? I mean, I love my work, all of it, and I wish that for everyone. So make sure that your life is something that feels good inside you, not something that looks good. Those are about the perks and the money and how much we have and how much we buy and how much we own. And it's not about how that looks, my friends. When you start doing something that feels good, you become more successful than you could ever be in the paid job that's security and paying the bills. Are there any questions? Now's the time for questions. If you do, please unmute your microphones or give me any points, or anyone want to add anything, anyone want to say anything. I'm unmuting all your lines. Any comments? Anybody want to share? Hey, is that Cecilia? Hello. Welcome. Anyone want to say anything?
Just thank you. That's awesome. I've missed you so much.
Oh, you're a honey, Lynn. Thank you. And did you enjoy it, Alison? This is your first time.
Yeah, it was great. It's such an eye-opener. I mean, especially with the whole section that you just spoke about with the doubting and everything. Doubts come into place so many times with things in life. So it's quite interesting to do the cancel thing, you know. I didn't know that one. That's really good.
Thank you for saying that. And just to tell you, the cancel technique is really so simple. I mean, you just said it yourself. It's probably the single most underestimated technique out, because positive thoughts give positive outcomes and negative thoughts give negative outcomes. And on average, we have 80% of our thoughts being negative. 80%. Imagine if just a little bit every day, even if it's just 1%, we made them more positive. Maybe over a year, I don't know, be 50% better than what we were. How our lives would improve.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So thank you for saying that. And I see Sarah. Sarah's on the webinar tonight. I saw her name. Are you here? Just want to say welcome if you are. If you want to say anything, please feel free. Anyone want to add anything else?
Yes, Jeanine, it's Claire.
Yes, Claire.
Look, I've been lying here in bed and listening and closing my eyes and sort of semi-meditating while I've been listening. It's just been really lovely to just take in some of the concepts again and actually I thought a lot about our conversation earlier today and realising how excited I was talking to you about the work that I've been doing. And you've just sort of confirmed a few things for me this evening about calling it the zone of genius. Sounds a little bit not so humble, but it just made me aware that in some senses my work is my area of genius, which is really lovely.
100%.
Thank you.
Especially what you do. Yeah, don't think that you're being arrogant at all. You know, I just want to say that too much humility is actually a bad thing. Too much humility is a rejection of God's creation, to be honest. So we don't need to be arrogant, but we do need to be self-assured and self-appreciating that we do have a gift, whatever it may be, to serve in this world with, to serve others with. And to say we're operating in our zone of genius is healthy. When we're so humble that we never give ourselves credit and, you know, never praise ourselves or think that we're bragging, too much is actually not healthy either. So yes, be proud of your zone of genius, Claire, because you do certainly have.
Oh, thank you.
Anybody else want to add anything?
Jeanine,
Yo.
it's Mary. Just based on what you were saying with your previous job, when you actually change your mindset and not your manager and all of that, and you change your mindset and something changed. But based on the conversation I had this weekend as well, is someone suggested to just bring more of who you are at work, and things start to show up as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why it was also another way to just part of changing the mindset, but also just like bringing more of who you are and what you believe, and just talking about it instead of just like completely separated work and personal life.
Absolutely, and thank you for saying that. And if I can even add to what you've said about bring more of yourself to work, if you don't like what you're doing, the first thing you can do to like it more, it's going to sound a bit contradictory, just trust me. The first thing you can do is do it with your whole heart. Do it with your best effort. Everything that you do, say, I'm going to do this the best I can, and do that every day, you will immediately like your job more. I don't know how.
And another thing as well that I've been applying a lot recently with my team is, okay, how we can make that situation a little bit more fun. And it's just completely change the dynamic, especially when you're going through tough time, is actually change the dynamic. And that's why just sometimes you're just looking at the perspective of just like, how can bring more fun in that situation.
Wonderful. And that is so healthy. Going back to, working and having fun and working with people that you love and that people love you I cannot tell you how important that is. It changes your life, literally. You go home happier, than being in work that's no fun and with people that you don't like. So yeah, thanks, Marie. Thanks for bringing that through. Thank you. Anyone else want to share anything?
Hi, Jeanine, it's Jim. Just to say, you've confirmed in new words something that I've proved to myself over and over. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. I appreciate you. Anybody else? If you do want to speak, check that your microphone's not on mute. No, yes. Otherwise, we're going to carry on. Anyone want to say anything else? No? Okay. So we're just going to go into a quick guided meditation now. So for those of you who haven't done this before, please grab a pen and paper. I'll give you a few seconds. If you don't have one, just grab a pen and paper and get yourself comfortable with a pen and paper in your hand. We're going to meditate with a pen and paper in our hand, because I'm going to ask you some questions, and in a deep meditative state, you're going to answer these and you're going to see that they come from a place of truth. You're going to get answers from what we call our higher selves, for lack of a better words, or that's the best way to describe it, from your higher self. And when you're all ready, you can put your cameras off. I'm going to put my camera off. So we're going to meditate. I'm going to put some music on. And I'm going to first relax you. So just follow just listen to the instructions and just relax deeply. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you 2 or 3 or 4 questions. I'm going to give you some time. The most important thing is that you don't hesitate to answer whatever comes in your head. The very first thought that comes in your head, write that thought down, because that is truth for you. Okay, is everyone ready? Yep, I hope so. So here's the music. I hope it's not too loud. So just get really comfortable. So find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and take a deep belly breath. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, allow the tensions in your body to release and float away. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, begin to feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leaving your scalp. Feel the tension leaving your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back. From your neck all the way down to the end of your spine. Relax your chest. Relax your abdominal area, your stomach. Relax your pelvic area and hips. Take another deep breath and allow the tension to leave your hips, thighs, knees, calves, feet, all the way down to your toes. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Continue to breathe deeply, slowly, and rhythmically. It is a wonderful feeling to be deeply relaxed. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere where you've been, or somewhere where you'd like to go. But allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience this place right now. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light in the scene. Place this waterfall of white light wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. The light is a healing energy a clearing energy. Your waterfall of light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. It is clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of the day, of the week, and of the past month away. Feel it clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of the entire previous year away. Continue feeling it clear the stress, tension, and clutter now of the lifetime that you've lived. Feel it clearing all the stress and tension from your entire energy field, from your atmosphere, your aura. As the light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out and radiating love. See yourself radiating love. Feel yourself radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this white, healing light. Now take a deep breath, relax deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All those hurts you felt, all those pains you felt, the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, to focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It is now time to set your intention for the month of May. Tune into your inner wisdom. Tune into your higher self. That part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. When I've reached the count of 1, you will have tuned in to your higher self, your inner wisdom, the part of you that intuitively knows what is best for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now tuned in to your inner wisdom, the part that knows what is best for you. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Feel the connection. And now ask yourself the following question. What do I need to focus on for the month of May? What do I need to focus on for the month of May? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Then take a deep breath and close your eyes and re-enter your calm state. What do I need to focus on for the month of May? Always remember to write down your very first impressions. The next question. What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, write it down, then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your calm state. The next question is, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of or release? Now ask yourself the question, is there anything else? Anything else I need to know? Or anything else I need to do? Is there anything else? Now allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, count yourself out from 1 to 5. And at the count of 5, open your eyes and have a big stretch. Blessings to you, my friends. Welcome back. All the cameras back on. Everyone's alive. Was that good for you?
Fantastic.
Oh, God.
Anybody want to share any answers they got that were maybe surprisingly helpful?
Just one that's ongoing for me, Jeanine, that's been there for a long time. And that's teaching myself not to be judgmental.
Does that judgmentalness, if there's such a word, start with yourself, Jim?
Of course.
Okay. I just wanted to say that for everyone's benefit, because we are most harsh on ourselves. We are most harsh
Indeed.
and judgmental on about ourselves more than anyone out there. So thank you so much.
And thank you for the words of which I've heard many groups of those words now, as you know, for several decades. So they are a part of me.
But better and better, right?
Indeed.
Indeed. Anybody else?
Hi, it's Claire. I was surprised because when the answer to the question of what do I need to focus on for the month of May just came as breath, intuition, listening.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What I can say is whatever came up for you in these answers, one thing's for sure, you can trust them.
Yes, that's true.
And they definitely come from a place of help, love, and truth. Anyone else?
For the third question, I had to let go of pain.
Okay. Is that, if I may ask, emotional or physical?
I'm not sure. It just came out just pain. I think it might be emotional.
So can I just talk to you for a second, Alison, if you don't mind, because this is your first time on the call.
Yeah.
When we ask ourselves questions and we've relaxed long enough, which the amount of time and the guidance to relax from head to toe is sufficient, what happens is that your conscious mind slows down substantially. It's called going from the beta state, where your brain waves are quite fast, to something called the alpha state, where your brain waves are very stable, calm, and about half as fast. When we ask a question in the alpha state, you have access to a knowing part of you that's very deep in your subconscious mind and your highest form of intuition. So I just want to say to you, I don't know anything about you except that you're lovingly looking after my mother's dog, so thank you very much. However, take note of that and start to ask yourself, what pain? And when did this begin? Something along those lines. And maybe do it in a meditation. So you've got an idea on how to do this. You're welcome to listen to this recording until a point and maybe press pause and just stop and maybe or play relaxing music and try and get yourself into a meditative state again and just ask those questions. What pain? And where did it begin? Because the answers lie within you. And why that comes up is the higher part of yourself, which we can call our soul, if you like, knows where you want to go. It knows your purpose. It knows your path in life. It knows your true full potential and how to express all of that. And it knows everything that's standing in its way. And as much as sometimes we think that suppressed pain or something of our past is something we've forgotten about and don't pay attention to, the reason it comes up in a meditation like this is that very thing is the roadblock to everything, that you are really wanting in your life. So it's very important that we do address it. And sometimes it takes longer than we like. However, awareness is the first step to change. So at least you got that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Do you want to say anything else, Anderson? Sorry.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Sissy. Who's speaking?
No.
Oh, Nance. Hi, sorry.
That's unusual. I work with you all day and you've forgotten what I sound like.
I'm going to cop it this week. Yes, Nancy.
I got something really interesting, actually. I got to focus on work. And then it was very clear because it said the steps were to be patient. And then I got courses. And then I got develop your skills. And then I got let go of control and go with the flow. And then I asked, is there anything else? And it said, be happy and enjoy your ride to success. So it's, it's quite interesting. So I'm looking forward to the month of May.
That's your first time you've had work-related answers, right?
Yeah.
And you've done about what? October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. This is your 8th Meaningful Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe 9th.
So that's pretty exciting. I'm really happy about that, actually.
Yeah, and you've got a course starting tomorrow.
Yes, I do.
So how timely is that?
I was actually not thinking of that. Like, I was thinking of more long-term. So, after August, the big courses. So, developing my skills. So, it's been lingering in the back of my head. So maybe it just came to.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because there's going to be lots to learn after August.
Yeah, exciting. Thank
you for sharing. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Me too.
Great. Anyone else?
Sorry.
No, that's all right. You go first.
You go.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
how are you?
Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Long time. I just wanted to say that like since this year started, I've been like living in this flow of events that hasn't stopped, and like I've actually been doing a little bit of what you have said today, like uh, trying to have this feeling of all the time, and I've been really trying to be present all the time, like in this moment right now, and I've been enjoying it so much. Like I'm enjoying everything I'm doing actually, even though like you said, it's not what I know I have to, like what I want to do in my life, but I feel like I'm just starting to understand what I want, and just whatever I'm doing, I'm just enjoying it, and I'm putting my best into it, and it just feels so good. Like I'm just there enjoying my life. That's what I'm doing right now before I'm starting to do yeah, like what you said, like what you're supposed to do in this life. So yeah, it's been wonderful. And like when all these questions you ask now, I haven't really got like precise answers, just like feelings. I've been having so many feelings lately, and I can actually feel like right now it's like pouring out from my heart. I don't know, I have this amazing feeling just coming out from, if I can physically put it somewhere, it's from my heart. And I don't know if that, yeah, that's what I just felt now and what I'm feeling. Yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Wow, I'm so happy for you, really I am. And you've sent me a couple of emails over the months that you've been traveling and around, and I'm just so happy for you because so much has changed for you, and that you feeling is, to be very clear, it's source energy expressing through you. That's why it feels so good. That's why your heart feels so happy, because you're connected. You're connected to source energy. You're connected to this, everything in this universe. Your awareness and this awe that you talk about, be more mindful, having more awe, is just the spiritual growth. That's what it is. And the spiritual growth just means a bigger and bigger and bigger awareness of our connection to everything. And that everything comes from one universal source, and it's all one massive miracle. And the closer we live in that alignment, the more our heart bursts and our chest fills with this joy. And it's the most wonderful feeling. And I am so happy for you. I really am.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with everybody, because that's, if you've never had that or you don't have that often, it's possible for everyone. It absolutely
is.
Just takes, a bit of personal development to understand there are steps that take you there. So just if I may say, Cecilia's a Silva Method graduate, and you did the course last year, September, I think, or May, I don't know. So, yeah, a connection with source, using your intuition, feeling that feeling of love every day, is you're living in the flow. You're not thinking about what you have to do. You're just feeling what you love to do. Totally different. Totally different.
She looks really happy too. She has that glow about her.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? She writes me emails, and it comes through in the email. I read her emails, and I write back and say, I get goose pimples everywhere. Her emails are even injected with this wonderful, wonderful, happy, loving expression. It's just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeanine.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'll jump in for just a second.
Go on then.
That was gorgeous. It made me go all goosey too. And she just is, bright like the sun, I think. Just look at her. She's just beautiful. Anyway, I had what came up for me, and I don't know what question it was, because I didn't actually open my eyes when I was writing.
Wow.
So I've got one of them was speak my truth and open myself up. So I know I've built walls around me in my life, and it's time for them to come down. I think speaking my truth is just speaking from the heart, and I think falling in love with the idea of actually being able to do that, express myself, I think, and my creativity.
Wow, that's wonderful, Lynn, and that's a big step. If you're going from not expressing your truth to expressing your truth, it's a big step. But you know what lies on the other side of taking that step is freedom. And freedom is just, it's probably the highest state of being. Of course, like mixed with Cecilia's happiness and connectedness.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but that's freedom. So yes, that's wonderful. I don't know if you have any idea on how to do that, but the awareness is your first step.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think believing too, I think I understand now that everything is about the way that I believe, all my beliefs, everything. And I think it's the same for everybody else as well.
Yeah.
Once you understand that you have to get out of your own way in order to move forward, then that's just liberating on its own.
Yeah.
You think, oh my God, I am in control. I can change this. There's nobody stopping me but myself.
Yeah. Wonderful, absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you. I just love tonight. Love, love, love.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Is there anybody else who wants to share anything? Yes, no, maybe. I'll move on. If you want to, please just interrupt me. Okay, so that's the end of tonight. Just for next time, the next Meaningful Monday is the first Monday of every month. The next one's 4th of June. I was talking to Nancy yesterday or the day before, just on general subjects, and I was getting into this thing about getting old. And she said, you should do a Meaningful Monday on this. I said, really? She said, yes. And maybe it is true. You know, if you look around us, we're all different ages here. Like Cecilia's much younger than the rest of us. But I mean, I'm getting closer to 50, not 30. And some of us are older than me, some of us are younger than me. But getting old is a fear for many people. So I'm going to address that because it's very important that holding resistance against growing old affects your whole life, your manifestation of everything you want, joy, money, love, peace of mind, whatever it may be, can be interrupted with that. So that'll be next one. And then just to tell you, there's Out of This World one-day event. Many of you may know we had a 4-day event of Out of This World a few weeks ago. Dr. Bruce Copley is out from South Africa. I flew him out. This man changed my life. It's just a wonderful, wonderful, whole lot of experiences that we immersed in, and we grow what we term holistic learning. And it's not a seminar, it's not a course, it's not a program. It's just experiences in nature, music, poetry, fire, whatever it may be. And these experiences introduce us to a part of ourselves we may not have met before. And it creates aha learnings. And these things will change your life in a profound and moving way. So there's a one-day event coming up on the 19th of May. If anyone can make this event, I strongly urge you to do it. And because I know most of you on here, I absolutely give you a money-back guarantee. And I'm paying for this booking at Q Station, everything. And I'm taking the bookings money and I'm paying Bruce. But I'm telling you, I'll give all your money back if this day is not out of this world for you. So that's how much I'm confident this is a not to be missed. And it's very different. It's not a program or a course. It's a series of experiences that will move you. So if anyone's interested, please text me or get hold of me afterwards. It costs $495 a person from 9 in the morning till approximately 9 at night, all meals included, tea, lunch, whatever, coffee, tea, and dinner. And if you come as a pair, it's $100 off, so you pay $395 per person, whether it's a friend or your partner or a colleague. And then the next Silva Method live training is at the end of May, 24th to 27th. Lynn's coming. Thank you very much. I don't think anyone else here is coming. I don't think not yet. So she's going to review. This is great. So any one of the other Silva grads want to review, remember, you hardly pay anything, so it's basically free for you, except for a seat charge. Please come. And then lastly, sorry, Silva Kids. The next program I'll do for Silva Kids is in October. I haven't finalized the date yet. However, please just know that I am running a kids program. So if you know anyone, whether it's your own kids, family, friends, and you think what a wonderful gift it is to get these techniques given to children as a foundation for the rest of their lives, please spread the word. I'm doing a kids program, which I've done the first one a few weeks ago, and it was absolutely fantastic. And Bella's on this Meaningful Monday. She did it. And then there's a webinar which is based on the Silva Method for those who don't know about the Silva Method. So maybe people like Sarah and Alison want to maybe know what the Silva Method's about. Please join this webinar. It'll be on 17th of May at 7:30. It's called the 4 Key Skills to Take Charge of Your Life. And those are the 4 key skills listed there. Just learning how to stay calm and focused under pressure, having clear goals, knowing how to achieve them, overcoming limiting beliefs, and how to make better decisions and recognize opportunities. So that's that, my friends. I want to thank you all for your time and your attendance, and I appreciate all the love and all the sharing that you've done. I'll stop the recording.